enthusiasm. I got your fee if you're looking to keep busy. Here are the details.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk Star Citizen with members of the community. Today is December 8th, 2022, at least in North and South America, and we are live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, hopefully. I haven't checked Facebook, but we hope to be live there too. How are you doing, Griffin?
You know, I completely forgot that I added Facebook this week, so...
Oh, that was this week?
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, because when I went to edit the title, I saw Facebook was added, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I just said, well, you know what? We're paying for it, and we're not using it. Let's use it. So there you go, right? We're on Facebook Live now.
But how are you doing now?
I'm doing okay, a little tired. Came in, took a quick nap, and I'm going to jump out for a little bit and jump back. But otherwise, I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. And before I forget, I wanted to... Oh, there it goes. It works. I wanted to say thank you to Rosterson and Marzipan for the subscription. You can see I finally got the alert going, guys.
Awesome.
Griffin can't hear it, though. Griffin can't
awesome.
hear it, though, but I can.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it. I didn't know, but thank you for telling me. That's great. Good to know. More stuff's working.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know what today is, Griffin. Oh, thank you, face to face.
Oh.
What's the link for Facebook? I have no idea. You got to put the link for Facebook in
yeah.
in
Well,
chat,
it's our Facebook group. You have to be a member of our Face group. No, I think I made it public. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, I forget. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think I made it so that when we stream from here, it's public.
It's been so long since I went to Facebook, but yeah.
But you said you see it running. I don't see it running. Okay, you say you see it. All right.
Who?
Did you see it on Facebook Live running or no?
No. I have Twitch and YouTube running, so I don't want to start up a third stream while I'm streaming.
I understand. Yeah. Okay.
No, but you know what today is, Griffin, right?
What today is?
Today is December 8th. Today is the day Jared said we were going to get 318.
Oh, don't.
So we still have a few hours before that.
Why would you even raise that as an issue? I'm not even thinking about that.
Because yesterday Jake posted on a Discord, I think it was the Black Sky Legion Discord, saying that, let me get the exact quote. Hold on.
Yeah, I can see what he said. He said it was a mistake that they put a date out. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's basically what it said. He said they shouldn't put a date out, and said it'll be ready when it's ready. That's what he said.
Exactly, which is always the answer. So that's why I don't think about dates, even if they say something. If we get it, great. If not, we know it's coming. So
yeah,
cool though. That's cool.
What have you been doing this week?
Boy, what have I been doing? Trying to on the decline, right? You know, last week we had the virtual bar citizen. And then we had the week before that, we had our IAE show. And then let's see, a couple weeks before that was the bar citizen here in Chicago. And we're on our last two shows for the season. This week coming up.
And then we had the bar citizen for Citizen Con.
yeah, the bar citizen for Citizen Con. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, and so this week is our last. Well, we got two more shows, Sunday shows, and then after that we're on our break, our winter break, which I'm looking forward to. I'm going on vacation, and I'm just want to get a break. So
yeah, next week is my last Soul Talk of the year. So if you want to do it the week after that, that's cool.
I'll think about it. I know. You know what? I can tell you, I won't be because I'll be
You'll be
on a
gone.
flight. I'll be on a flight that day, so I won't be doing
Okay.
it. I won't
Alright.
be doing it. Yep. So it'll be 2 weeks off for everything next week. So and we'll talk about that Sunday, so you guys will know when we'll be back and stuff.
Yeah, so this week I've been taking a step back, or in my case, a rollback from reading and catching up on my anime. So I subscribed to another streaming service called High Dive because they have some exclusive anime titles that they can't get anywhere else. But I did drop stars because their $2.99 promotion ended.
Okay. Yeah, I know
But
you're
as
the
far as-
promotion kings. You ride on those when they run those
I
specials
ride
all
it,
the
yeah,
time. You
exactly,
keep up with them.
If you don't have a
Yeah.
promotion, no deal from me. But as far as Star Citizen goes, I melted the Scorpius and the C8 that I temporarily added to my fleet because I wanted to get the skin. So I got this skin. Well, I didn't get the skin for the C8 because I had the wrong C8. But I get the skin for the Scorpius, so I melted that. And I added a Razor LX for racing. But I don't know how much I'll be using it.
Okay. Or so is that the ship of choice for you if you want to do racing? Is that the one you picked?
I'll let you know.
Okay. I know for some reason I know you were always interested in racing, and I always thought you had some other racer.
Racing, but
I thought there was some other ship you had.
But for a while, I said that I was gonna wait till the PU and just buy a shipping game, but I had some extra credit laying around, so I decided to use it. But no, my ship of choice would be my thing Omega, but you can't get that.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay.
You can't get that.
It's not that. For some reason, I remember you saying you were interested in racing, and I just assumed that you had bought something, that you had something in your hangar for racing.
I had,
so.
but I melted it. But now I got something else. So yeah.
Okay.
And for people who might be curious of what's on the screen, we're doing a special what do you call it? Fundraising for Alysianah Noire, because as you know, I may or may not know, her daughter is having medical issues, so we're doing a fundraiser for her. I thought I had it right here, but here it is. So during the month of December, we are raising money for her daughter, as she suffered a rare illness in the past year. We introduced some coffee mugs, so you can see them on the screen. So whenever you go to the Stream Lab and go to the fund, any donation but from their sale will go toward their GoFundMe. So just go to the merchandise store, buy something, and they'll get it in their GoFundMe. So I hope you like the choices of mug that you see available. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you have, other than yours, is there one that you like?
Other than mine, I like
particular
Colossal,
mug?
Diana Drake, Flying the Drake, Diana Drake. I do like that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried to find stuff that our folks were notable for either saying or subjects that they've talked about. So I'm sorry, or subjects that they talked about. So anyway, I hope you guys are able to check those out when you get time. I'm sorry, I wasn't pushing down my button. I was trying to look up something. I was trying to find out how much money has gotten raised so far for Alysianah.
Oh yeah.
That number.
No problem.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to do two things at once here.
No problem.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can do that too. But yeah, I also like Unique's one, but that's incomplete in my opinion. But I know you can't fit the whole thing on the mug.
Yeah, it would have been a very long phrase.
Oh, you could have put it on one side, finish on the other. I don't know. That would have cost.
Well, the
money.
logo's on the other side. So if I did it would have wrapped.
Okay.
Yeah, on this side you see the words, and on the other side the Soul Citizens logo's there. So
Okay.
it would have blocked that out. Otherwise, I could have just wrapped it around the mug. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you ready for me to do my thing?
Yeah, fire away.
Okay. So for this one, I admit only a niche. This is for a niche crowd will get this one, but if you get it, you'll really get it. So here we go.
Yeah, I believe we're gonna get it. All right, go ahead.
I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death nor known to life. Have withstood pain to create many weapons. Yet those hands will never hold anything. So as I play, unlimited blade works.
We gotta
You
bring him
probably won't
in.
get it.
I
You
won't
probably
get
won't
it, but you know what? I know somebody in our crew will probably get it. So let's bring some folks down here. We've got Fist to Face and Pops in Space.
Yeah, Citizen Shenanigans, it is anime. So that is one hint.
Okay.
It is anime.
Pop Spitz, how you guys doing?
Hello,
Right,
hello.
fine.
Good, good. You guys got any hints here? Any ideas of where FC is taking us this week?
Man, that's Shakespeare.
Oh,
Mm.
anime. He said, I'm not. I don't really watch anime too much. This
You
one
don't watch
just stuck in
anime,
my
yeah.
head,
Like I said, it's a niche group this time. So if anyone did, it's from a popular anime that's been going on for like 20 years. But it's from Fate Stay Night, a popular anime series, and it was either doing that chant or do Dragon Slave from Slayer. But I don't know anyone who can Slayers now because that's pretty old.
Okay, well, you got us on that one for sure.
All right, so hopefully someone will get that in YouTube later on during the watch. But yeah, all right.
Cool.
So up first we have our sneak peek, and the subtitle is you could find it at the market. And I had to look up the lyric because I had no clue where that was from. I was expecting something from like thrift shop again, but it wasn't thrift shop. Yeah, this is Frick Park Market by Mac Miller. That's where the title is from. You can find it at the market. So what do people think?
Well, it's definitely Pyro, right? And the song, I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard it.
This isn't the first time we've seen these shop shots, right? In what we assume is Pyro. And I found it interesting that many players or backers always talk about the danger of Pyro. Yet I have yet to see anybody do any shooting yet on any of the concept art. And so I'm not saying that there isn't any shooting. I'm just saying evidently there's economy, there's some place where people are shopping, and it's not like people are here, sticking up the shopkeepers. You know what I mean? This person's actually shopping. So I am curious to see what the tone of where there will be places, because obviously there have to be some places where you can go and be relatively on your guard, but you can do some things, right? I don't get the picture of it being the Wild West, where everywhere you go, you got your gun, your hand on the trigger. Now maybe you do, I don't know. My point is, I'm really curious to see how CIG is going to balance all this out. We've been talking the last few weeks about the environmental dangers. Then there's the dangers of NPCs and gangs. Then there's the dangers of players in the game. And so I'm curious to see what the balance is going to be, because obviously there are going to be some people who are going to reside in Pyro. They've got to exist there, right? And then there are other people that are just not going to want to be there either because of just the whole lawlessness aspect of it, or they just prefer being in a different system. So I am curious because every time we see this artwork, it's always kind of cool, very moody, kind of like, that off the street market kind of feel and everything. But I don't see a gun on this guy's hip. There's no rifle on his back. You know what I mean? He's in civilian clothes, right? Even when we saw the video with Jax with the Banu thing, right? When he landed at the bazaar, same thing. People were walking around shopping, doing their thing. So I am curious to see how they balance all this stuff out as time goes by.
So I will say one thing though, this guy is not live streaming this, so the shopkeep isn't going. Not cool, man. Not cool.
Yeah, it does give you that, Griff. It does give you that flea market swap meet vibe going on, haggling for different things. And the thing that kind of caught me off guard, going back to one of the Jax video, I forget which number. I think it was 6 or 7 when he stowed away in the guy's freelancer.
Yeah,
and it was kind of, I'm like, why did he stow away? He might as well just sat up front with him, because he came out and asked.
The same thing. Like, why didn't he just ask where he was going instead of just throwing away?
You ask somebody where they're going, you got to pay him. Jackson got no cash. You stowing away.
He had almost 3 million viewers. Some of them could have dropped him some cash.
Yeah, right. Well, usually when you stow away, it's because you don't want the person to know that you're on their ship. So I think it was just, and of course, he comes off at Ruin Station, and the guy at Ruin Station didn't give him a hard time. He's like, "Where am I?" He's like, "You're at Ruin Station." He kept walking.
Didn't pay it any mind.
He did, right? Right. Maybe it's not unusual for people to stow away. I don't know. But
exactly.
Yeah, but Pops, you raised another good point. Will NPCs be selling? Like, what are they selling versus what are we selling? Are they selling stuff that we actually do need to buy from them? Right? Or because I can't believe it's just static. You know what I mean? Like right now, a lot of our vendor areas get our food and our water there. The weapon stores, we get weapons. But what will these vendors be offering to sell? Now, in Jackson's video, that guy was selling parts to ships. He had a whole bunch of stuff. It was like a little menagerie of stuff that he was selling. What's going to make me go to him versus fastcart? You know what I mean? Or what's going to make me choose fastcart over him? They've got to put stuff there that we want and need, and at the same time leave room for player stuff that comes in that can be competitive with what's going on in the game too.
Griffin, I'm going to tell you now, you'll be coming to me because you'll get the Soul Citizen discount.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
it did make me think that, and now correct me if I'm wrong, that there should be things that are sold in Pyro that can't be sold in Stanton, like the Van Duel parts. It gives, you kidding me? Are you filming me? So I would imagine that there's a whole different economy for different things over there.
Yeah, a lot of the illegal stuff that we can't do over in Stanton.
Could be. And I'm just wondering about the food. There may be different types of food over there that we can't maybe get somewhere else.
Not really food, but I would guess like some kind of brandy or alien brandy that are illegal someplace else, like that Romulan ale from Star Trek.
Exactly. Yeah, we're on the same thing. We eye to eye, Romulan ale. Yes, I would imagine that there's things. Now the only thing is that because they're saying that resources in Pyro are scarce. It just makes me really, if everything is brought in. I mean, I can understand the solar flare affecting all of that, but it just makes me really think of how everything has to be brought in. So,
well, like the belt there, they didn't say that it strips completely. They just said it's very difficult to find stuff because they have stripped it. There's been so much mining. There is still resources, just that they're not going to be like they are in a bigger place, like not bigger, but a place that's more plentiful, like Stanton is. You're going to have to really go look for stuff if you're going to find it. You may spend hours and hours before you find something. I want to focus in on something else that happened on that video. I know fastcart, I don't want to spend all day on this, but I meant to mention it a couple of weeks ago. Jack said, are those real Van Duel parts or are they the Asperia knockoffs? Now that's another thing.
Oh, good.
That's another thing. Will there be, if you get the Asperia stuff, it's good. But if you can find the Van Duel stuff, it's better. And I guarantee you, whatever the Van Duel stuff is, the prices are going to probably be ridiculous. And it's not like the stuff's going to be stocked at that store. I guarantee you it will be something that's rotated that happens to be there when you go there. You come back another time, they don't have it.
Yep.
Well, if you got an Asperia made ship, you would want Asperia made module. But if somehow you got your hands on a real Van Duel ship, that'd be expensive to maintain and keep.
Maybe, or maybe it makes your ship better. Maybe it's the rarity of it. Maybe the quantum drive. Maybe there's something about the Van Duel parts that's better. Because I mean, the Asperia stuff just replicas. Maybe there's something about if you get a genuine, almost like when you get a genuine GM part. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, maybe there's something to having the original.
Genuine Van Duel ship would be harder to fly because the body is different from a human.
Well, I'm not talking about a ship now. You went another way. I'm just talking about on that wall, there were weapons. There were weapons on that wall, and there was some type of energy components or something. And I'm just saying, maybe those components are a little bit better, or maybe those weapons have a little bit more something than the ones that are just replicas from an Asperia ship. But we'll see. I'm just
we'll see.
So do you think that was the reason, partly the reason why the Banu Merchantman was sitting behind it? Because maybe they delivered that too?
Oh, well, absolutely. Because we know the Banu are the ones that trade. They're the only ones who do trade with Van Duel, right? So we know that. Right. But let's go back to the question that Bryant Chambers answered that you guys presented to him. Is stuff in the trailers, is stuff in the videos, stuff that we may see in the game. And his response was what, Pops? What did he say?
Well, he said, and he told me when I asked him the question, he said, everything we see in there will be in the game. It is just a matter of time.
And he said it's not a matter of marketing, right? That was the question. Was it going to be in the game, or was it just stuff that looks pretty? And he said, no. If you see it in the videos, it's stuff that we plan on putting in the game.
Putting in the game. He said just a matter of time when they can get it in when the tech and all of that matches up.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yep. All right. So next up we have the Star Citizen Live from Friday. It's called Star Citizen Live Montreal Protocol. They have people from Montreal in the UK studio with Judd Huckabee. And yeah, I watched it, and it was pretty interesting. What do we call it? The Nubifier did a video, but he only got like a minute and 46 seconds out of it, so he didn't find much detail. But there was a lot of talking, and they're interesting bunch of people. Put it that way. They're interesting bunch of people. I enjoyed listening and watching them. Did anyone else check them out? Oh, hey, Kuchinagi.
Hey guys, sorry I'm a
Hey,
little late.
Admiral.
I have a birthday.
Good to see you, Admiral. Fastcart, drop the market line if you can. It's still up on the screen.
Oh yeah. Okay. Kuchinagi got it.
No, I'm talking
Drop
about
the market line. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you.
That's okay. No problem. It's hard to see.
All right. So yeah, Judd, did anyone check out Star Citizen Live?
Yeah, I watched. I didn't watch the full show because I was busy. But one thing that stands out to me is about all of the teams that work together. They all have they kind of have separate personalities, the different departments, but they all have this camaraderie that works between them. And that was the thing that I walked away from it. You know,
I
the
think this
boss.
group has been. I think this group has been together for like 2 years or something like that. So yeah, they know each other and know each other's quirks and stuff like that. So yeah, the byplay between them was entertaining.
Yeah, because I take it sometimes even from the leads or the head designers. I'm not sure that exact title. It's they don't have that. They don't seem to present to me that rank and file. Even though they may be a lead, they seem like they just fit together and work well together in all these teams. That was what was most impressive to me.
Admin Kuchinagi, face to face, any thoughts?
No, same with Pops. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. But like Pop said, excuse me, it's great to see them having that synergy between each other. You know, communication is key.
Yep.
Definitely appreciate the fact that Jared is bringing out more faces that we've never seen before too, including on the ISC today. We're seeing more faces, people, we're getting past those regulars that we always see and introducing new staff. And of course, as they expand the staff, I'm sure they'll continue to do that. But they're introducing us to other departments too. These people were in Germany because they went there to do training over in the UK, and they decided to use them while they were there. So I think it's kind of neat that we're seeing just, people who, under any other circumstance. I mean, we already wouldn't be seeing people behind the scenes already.
Right.
But we're just seeing even more people now, which is very cool, especially out of the Montreal office.
And it's interesting. Go ahead.
No, it's really a question for the both of you and Griff, because you've been here a lot longer and you've seen the growth. How do you guys feel of seeing all these people, like Griff just mentioned, all these new faces, and you've seen the departments grow and grow? I've seen a little bit, but
that goes into what I was about to say. You have four relatively new faces here. If they did a Star Citizen Live every week and bought 4 new faces, they couldn't get through the whole company in 1 year because they have over 800 employees now. So that's quite a few.
And the other thing too, like Fastcart said, it's not that they're new employees; they're just new faces. A lot of the people that they've been introducing have been with the company 3, 4, 5, 6 years. We just never saw them on camera before, So the fact that we're seeing, and don't get me wrong, it's nice when they say, "Oh, we've got somebody who just started 3 months ago." Sometimes they'll introduce somebody and say, "I've been here since 2018." It's like, "Oh man, you've been here for 5 years, or 4 years." We know that. It's kind of cool.
Because it always makes me, I scratch my head, and I when I listen to some people come on and they say, and some of these people still use this ridiculous word, scam citizen. I'm like, how in the world can they be scamming? And they've got how many employees? You just said 800. So in other words, they're bringing in money to pay employees, their salary, health insurance. They're flying people from here and there, but the company is a scam. And it just makes absolutely no sense at all.
Fist give Pops his blood pressure medicine so he can calm down, because we already been through this. He already knows the deal, so he's just getting himself worked up.
And what gets me is that they move the goalposts every year. It's like, oh, the game is never going to come out. They're gonna, it's not going to come out because if the game releases, they're gonna stop making money because they can't sell the ships anymore. So it's like, yeah, they keep moving the goalposts. They keep saying stuff every year, something new. So we'll wait till next year. It'll be a different reason.
Okay.
All right, then. So that was Star Citizen Live, Montreal Protocol. Up next, we have December 2022 subscriber promotion. So we get guns this time. Oh, let me see if I can get a picture of all of them. Yeah. So if you want to get all the bounty hunter weapons part of the subscription, you can subscribe on or before December 13th. That's next week. I think that's Tuesday. If you subscribe after December 13th, you can still pick up the previous month's player, going back to 2014 by going to the subscriber exclusive store. So yeah, what do people think? You want to get one of these guns?
I'm cool with the guns. Now, see, the guns is cool. Only thing is, though, I get it. They're really skins right now. Because I mean, these are guns that you can get in the game right now. Now, don't get me wrong, though. They, will be beneficial to when the game goes live. You'll already have them. If you want to go out and use them. But I would, to just for me, I would like to see some new guns. Maybe some new subscriber guns. I know we got that art. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you want to see some new guns, just start working out. You can get your own guns.
Yeah. Okay.
No problem. I get you.
So you can find these guns in the game, Fist?
Yeah. Those are all in the games. FS9, S71. Yeah, those are all guns in the game. Let me ask you a question. On the subscriber stuff, how many of you guys actually care about your subscriber stuff when you have it? Or in other words, you don't take it out? Or you do actually like putting it on and matching up your armor, and if you lose it, it's, you just wait for the next reset or whatever?
I don't take it out.
Okay. I was wearing the stuff on doing IAE, not Invictus. I was gonna say Invictus, but no, IAE. I was wearing some subscriber stuff.
But that's in a non-dangerous location. I'm talking about when you're going out to do stuff.
It's funny because I'm not a subscriber, and because of that, I was going to subscribe because I'm like, oh, these are different guns, and now that I know they're in the game and I can just find them in a box, I don't want to subscribe. Yeah,
you're just not going to find the color. That's all.
What do you mean? Is the color in the game or not in the game?
No, the color. No. That's why Fist was saying they're just skins. So they'll be like, if you see like the gold rifle is not in the game. That red right there is not. You'll find an S71. And there may be variations of it. There may be one that's camouflaged, one that's black. Right.
But is the color scheme? Is this is only for subscribers, and I can't, because they did this with the helmets or the masks, like the Halloween thing.
They'll pop up later. They'll pop up after 3 months, after 90 days.
Exactly.
So this skin will show up for free for everybody else in the game.
After 90 days.
Well, see, then why would I do that? Then I don't feel like I should spend extra money.
You're spending it to support the project. You're not
They should support me. I should have something unique because I'm a subscriber.
I understand.
I don't see the neon lights that they have everybody else. That like, oh, you can only get these the chem lights. I don't see those colors.
When you get your subscriber special gun, then the people on the other side say, how come the subscribers get those things? You said everything was going to be in game. So the door swings both ways. Yeah. That's why they put the 90-day thing on, to make everybody happy.
Yeah, because then they'll label it pay to win.
Oh, go ahead.
Pay to win. Yeah, you got to pay to get it.
Yeah.
So,
he's right.
I
pay to support.
On
nope. The Admiral. Come on, stop moving the goalpost.
There you go.
I have it on the screen right now. So to say, as you mentioned in the past, our goal is to make most often available to be earned in game. For this reason, we're excited to say that many subscriber play items will be added to the in-game loot table as a rare drop starting in 317, more specifically 2022 item those that can be player carried have been added, with Freezer Flare being added after a 3-month exclusivity window. So like Griffin said, 90 days and you can get it in game as it drops.
Now you're right. You're right. There's a red gun in there, but it ain't that ruby red one. I ain't seen that gun in the game. If you've seen one, let me know, because I know it's supposed to be 90 days, brother. And fastcart just read it.
And you know what? I think I'm good on armor and weapons because I bought that 5-pack or 6-pack of the
fastcart. You're never good. You're never good with weapons. You never have enough weapons.
Here's the thing, like if I subscribe to like the Old Republic, right? You get 500 cartel coins, which you can buy on the market, and which people pay for cash, and then you can buy like a lightsaber or a lightsaber crystal or a new suit or whatever. But and you have to get that through some means of either subscribing or paying with cash to get that. Now, if I can just find this stuff in a box, why the hell am I going to subscribe?
We just told you. It's just, it's just another way of supporting the game. I mean, you got, okay, not to be funny. Don't forget, subscribing isn't just Flare. Subscribing is all the TV shows we watch. It's dealing with the community managers. There's a whole bunch of stuff that there's a lot of stuff that falls under the subscriber dollars.
I get that for free right now. The only thing I don't get
yes,
is
you
the
do.
pamphlet thing.
Yes, you do, because we pay for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, other people pay for it.
Absolutely, because other people pay for it. That's why you do get it. You're right. So and that's why you don't have to. But there are people who pay for it, so we can have that in the game. Otherwise, if they started spending the development money on that stuff, there'd be people squawking like crazy. They'll be saying, "Oh, you should stop producing." Like they say, stop making ships. They'll be saying, "Stop producing all these shows and put the money into development." So that's the other side of the coin. It's always the other side of the coin, no matter what.
I don't get the little pamphlet thing.
What pamphlet thing?
That's something I don't get. Is the monthly.
Yeah, the thing
PDF.
that Ben works on.
PDF.
That's Jump Point. Yeah, Jump Point. Well, that's a subscriber benefit.
I think maybe everybody should get that for free. That way, it would be
why?
Because I can get everything else is for free. Why should it just be that?
That's not the only thing you don't get. That's not the only thing you don't get. There's other stuff you don't get. You don't get to go into the PTU in Wave 1.
Yes, I do. I spent a lot of money, and now I can.
You're concierge. Okay, well, you're concierge. Okay,
that pay to win.
Okay, but there are other things that you don't get access to. It's not just that. If you go to the whole subscriber area, there's other stuff in there that we get too. Other than that, they used to do wallpapers. There's the subscriber stuff. There's discounts and things. There's a whole bunch of other stuff you get as subscribers. You get the 10% and the 20% discount annually. So there's a lot of stuff that folks don't get. Ship of the month access. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that comes with it.
Congratulations. The ship of the month is it's the Argo, right? MPUV?
No.
No? I know that's the
Centurion. Isn't it that right there, fastcart on the screen?
Yeah, the Centurion. The
Centurion. Okay, yeah.
And the subscriber exclusive promotion is the Mule.
Right.
So, the MPUV is the if you get somebody in the game this month, you get you get
right. And we'll go to that in a moment. Hey, you are. How you doing?
I'm good.
You're right. No questions on paint skins, okay? That's a 30-minute conversation. I know it will blow up.
I'm not gonna talk about paint skins.
All right, just check.
Just sub gear. There's certain I buy multiples of the same sub gear. So I don't want to look for it in the game. It's too rare. I don't care about dealing with the loot tables and whatnot. Okay. I do go farm it just to stock up on a couple extras when I get bored. But outside of that, I'm not going to go look for it.
Well, let me ask you this:
the way I look, I don't want to change how I look.
Okay.
A
man of fashion, man of his time.
What about appreciate that? Do I get to see? All right, hold on. If I lose the rifle, someone takes my rifle. How do I get the rifle back? Do I have to reset my account?
Yeah,
I'm not doing that. I'm gonna just wait for the next update.
Right, or you can wait till the update comes up if it's that crucial to you. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, in the future, they're saying they say there might be a vendor available so you can pick up your
gear
stuff from. But I just want to say from Rooster Age, you get a yearly coupon. That's also a subscriber benefit. They get the 5% or 10% discount depending on what subscriber tier you go to. But yeah, so you get a discount every year. And also you get a merchandise discount, so 10% off if it's just an item. 50% off, including jackets, hoods, and all that stuff. So yeah, you can pick up your origin mug that they always show.
There you go.
All right, so that's it for the subscriber discount. Oh yeah, we got the RSI Galaxy Q&A. Griffin,
You're gonna have to get somebody to read because I'm about to break. Yeah, I'm about to break camp. So can somebody else? Yeah, can somebody else read that for FC?
No, I got it.
You got it. You got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay. So yeah, so you got the RSI Q&A. Before I start, who here has a Galaxy? No one.
Me, I do.
I've got it. I've got
okay,
it. Me and Admiral got it.
Okay, somebody was gonna say no one got it. Yeah, y'all were quiet for a moment. I was like, wait, what? All right, so yeah, so if you don't have any modules in the center of the ship and just the empty room, or does the Galaxy come with a stock module? Further, is the void full or empty, and can I just put stuff in there? If you have no modules, the Galaxy is an empty void area with a shell to keep the hull airtight, allowing you to traverse the hangar and the rest of the ship. As it's simple and empty space, you could put stuff in there, but with the lack of cargo plate, it would be subject to all the normal risk of unsecured cargo, meaning if you stop or go fast or, bounce around a lot, they could get damaged or what have you. The Galaxy does not come with a stock module for two reasons. Firstly, you want players to pick the initial module rather than be saddled with whatever would have been the base plus the one they want. Secondly, these modules will take up physical space in an inventory like all components. Therefore, if every chip came with a module the players didn't necessarily want, it would unfairly penalize them. So, any thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's true. That's the other side of the coin. Because if it came with the cargo,
I have to relieve Paula from 9 till 10. If you want to
gotta meet Griff.
I gotta mute him. I'll mute him.
Yeah. After that comes Cliff.
Hold on a sec. Yeah. There you go. All right.
Yeah.
So you were saying?
Yeah, it makes absolute sense because if you you don't really want to use it for cargo runs and you want to do it for refinery, then they're right. You'd be penalized. That would make the ship. What was the ship? 320? 350? What was the ship?
The base model is 380.
Yeah, the base 380. Okay, yeah, so it would have been 380. So if it would have came with the cargo module, the ship would have been 450. Right, 450. It's base. So now you get to take that money and buy the module that you're gonna need,
or buy with something else that you want. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yep. All right. So for the next question is, what is involved with changing out the modules? For example, how long will it take? Where can it be done? And can we change modules on the fly, or do we have to transport all the modules to one location like other ship components? Due to their size, the modules need to be swapped out at a location capable of that type of work, such as Cousin Crow's shop, and will require the ship to be there for a period of time. Exact timings are still to be determined, but due to the relative ease of access of removing the lower cap of then exchange module, there should not be a lengthy operation, providing all required parts are at that location. So that's pretty much what I guessed last week or previously. Going to Cousin Crow's or what have you, and I'm getting it done. And anyone have a problem with that?
No.
I just feel like some people are just following Star Citizen from day one. Because some of these questions are like, can I swap these modules out just whatever I want? It's like we've been talking about Cousin Crows for a long time, and it's some of the questions that get voted up.
We got doing IAE, and how many people we got doing Invictus Week? I think in one day they had 15K new accounts. So yeah, got people.
A lot of players don't even know Cousin Crows is a thing.
Yeah,
Cousin Crows, man, that's where you get all your paint done.
All right, so I think we have.
True.
Can the Galaxy be dropped off planetside to create a temporary base of operations? No. The modules themselves, the Galaxy module, said no. The modules themselves require power and cooling from the ship itself, so they are not able to function independently. In addition, they are installed with a covering cap to lock them in place, which would need removing first. So no, you can't just drop the module off and have your own little base without the ship.
So they want to drop the refining module.
Yeah,
On
exactly.
the
Uh-huh.
They
Or
just
like
wanna
no,
let it
like
everyone.
no, like the medical module. I can see someone else
Mm,
dropping that
just
off
true that
and,
too,
and
yeah.
making a portable hospital or whatever.
That's
It don't
true.
even look like it comes out of the ship.
No, it didn't.
I
make,
mean, yeah, they got the carbon cap right there, and yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do for oxygen and heat and?
Yeah,
Alright,
that, that's what they're saying. I mean, if a real engineer would be able to jury rig it so it'll work, but they're probably not going to allow it in the game.
No.
Will there be any medical equipment in the non-modular section of the ship? There is no onboard medical equipment such as medbed outside the medical module, so no. I don't know why there was a question, but okay. The galaxy doesn't seem to be well shielded, having just one large shield. How did the ship compensate for that? Meaning, will it be fast or will it be heavily armored? This is part of a longer-term relook of how not just shield but all components function across our ship. Expect to see more updates on this in the new year, along with further information on what ships are having alterations to their loadout to accommodate it. In short, the galaxy will be well shielded for its size, as the role of a size 3 large shield will be significantly different to a size 2 medium one, and a lot of ships will find themselves with either fewer larger items or more than 2 smaller items to help provide greater gameplay depth. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah. So they're saying one large is better than 2 medium.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
There's probably some give, like you can get like a top of the line medium that might be better than 2 crappy large. But it
Okay.
depends.
That's falling. Yeah.
There's an Oracle website, but you know they could change all the stats and everything before the game launch. But yeah,
Oracle is one thing. Like they're talking like in the future
yeah,
of where they're going. So I think they're saying like a size large, like a size 3 is supposed to be better than a 2 size mediums. I think that's what they're talking about.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is Under the Bridge? It's just a cool looking visual design with no intended gameplay functionality. Can we get an explanation of what the 2 rooms on the first floor at the very front of the galaxy are? On the upper deck, the 2 front rooms behind the bridge are for crew lift and a docking collar. On the lower deck, the 4 rooms are just for component, and the further one rearward is the crew locker suit room for exiting the vehicle via the lift. But they had that map in the of the galaxy. I guess people found that confusing, or they wanted more clarification. Are there any turret? Are any of the turret pilot controlled? If not, does the pilot have any other weapons available to use? The pilot only have access to the missiles and to the missiles. The turrets are controlled by the crew, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to pass on the galaxy, because you don't have access. The pilot doesn't have access to the weapons. You need a crew, so definitely not a solo ship. You're gonna need friends if you want to make the ship function properly. Put it that way.
What about your NPCs, fastcart?
What about what?
What about your NPCs? You don't trust them on the guns?
You can get them, but I mean, a player will be, vastly superior to NPC. That's what, well, unless they're drunk. But that's what, Chris Robert's been saying, the CIG.
Wait, you say that again?
He did say it.
A player will be vastly superior to NPCs unless the player is drunk. Because you know that happened.
Well, I guess you are talking about true circumstances.
What if the NPC get drunk?
Yeah, right. No, the NPCs, well, they can get drunk, but even then, I mean, just Test Squadron, Best Squadron.
Oh my goodness, Dan, you calling folks out, ain't you?
No, they call themselves out. They will be the first one to tell you they get drunk and fool around and mess stuff up. So yeah, that's not me. That's that's a well-known thing.
I mean, you can pay for better NPCs and put in AI turrets if they, AI server blades, but you gotta, that stuff costs money or offsets some other capability that you're gonna have to spend on that capability for like the turrets. So, it's better to have real people.
And Kuchinagi, you say that, but I haven't heard them talk about blades in a long time, so I don't know what's up with that. But they brought it up like 5-6 years ago, and recent 2 years, I haven't heard anything about that.
It'll
Okay,
come back.
but they haven't talked about, I don't know, pick a system. They haven't talked about Terror in like 8 years, so I still
mean, they
expect it to
did
come
brought
out.
up the Death for Spaceman, a couple of years ago. So
yeah, and they changed that out like crazy, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, they really don't have co-pilot gameplay in right now, right? So I would
Okay.
imagine the co-pilot will have other duties than just missile launching.
Well, like the co-pilot in the A2 is supposed to actually use the bomb. So like right now, the
Right.
pilot releases the bomb, and that's supposed to be the co-pilot of the A2 and like shields and stuff like that. So they're
Right.
using the pilot's going to be like the pilot's flying the ship. It takes a lot of attention to fly the ship and blah 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 blah, manage all these systems. So they're gonna offset other responsibilities to other people. So these multi-person ships are gonna really should be multi-person.
Right.
How do y'all feel if they took away navigation from the pilot seat? Like you had no access to that.
Now, isn't the what is that?
What?
I don't know. That's a good
No, I was just trying to yeah, really, that's a good question. You're right. Yeah, because
I
really,
don't
who's
think doing that, but anything's possible.
Impossible?
Because I'm thinking
anything is possible. I don't think doing that. Yeah. All right. So up next it says, how does the refining module compare to the Mist Expanse ability to run 6 separate refining jobs simultaneously? And does the module have any storage for refined ore on its own? The Galaxy refining module has both storage for raw and refined materials outside of just the saddlebag storage like the Expanse, as well as 2 reactors that are much larger than the Expanse. So while it can run fewer simultaneous jobs, it can process a much larger quantity per job and store them after. So that's why one person may want the Expanse and one person may want the Galaxy with the refining module.
Or they have both.
Or you can have both, that's true. Can the Galaxy refuel its quantum tank somehow from the refined quantum that it has created in the refining module? There is no direct connection to the quantum tank from the refinery, unlike the Mist Odyssey. For any refined quantanium by the on-site Galaxy is for sale trade rather than an automatic refilling of its own tank. Hold on a sec, gotta unmute someone. Okay, I think you can unmute yourself now. There you go.
Man, I know it's your show, but man, you just gonna mute me like that? Holy smoke!
Welcome back, Griff. Alright, so any thoughts about the refining quantum tank and quantanium? I think one of the reasons why I wanted the Odyssey because they can refine and refuel themselves rather than unlike the Galaxy. So that's another reason why I'm not getting the Galaxy.
I'm sorry, Fastcart. Can you repeat what you just said?
I was interested in the Odyssey because it can refine quantanium and refuel itself, but the Galaxy cannot. So that's another reason why I'm not getting the Galaxy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's these 2 different ships that do 2 different things.
Yeah.
You've got a survey ship that needs to loiter out in areas and do scientific whatever, and it's just going to be out there, and it uses its mining refining capability to stay out there for indeterminate amount of time. And this ship is kind of like has a specific job, and it's either going to a mining field, or it's doing cargo runs, or it's doing some type of medical gameplay to help people out. So I mean, you have to really buy the ship for what you want to do with it, So
Yep.
it's the Odyssey's nice to have because it can't stay out there for. The only thing you need to do is get a lot of food, and you're good to go.
Yep, and supplies, not just food, medical and whatnot too.
Weapons and ammo and stuff like that.
Yep. The Galaxy Promotion website states after an after deck that serves as a dedicated hangar or a sizable cargo hold. So this means that this entire after deck area is a cargo grid of 64 SCU, or just the sides of it. can we only transport either 64 SCU or an XSS ship in the after deck, or can we transport both at the same time? The 64 SCU's cargo grid are 2 by 32 grid space at the edge of the hangar and do not interfere with the hangar metric, allowing both a XSX ship and a 64 SCU to be stored simultaneously. So you can do a ship and 64 SCU simultaneously. Basically what they're saying. So that is one point in its favor. Okay, can the cargo module be used as an improvised hangar? And can one use tractor beams to pull the Tumble, Nova, or Alice platform vehicles into the cargo hold? If you can fit the vehicle either through the door to the hangar or up the lift, then it's perfectly possible, but not intended. The cargo lift is capable of holding 32 SCU containers at a time, so vehicles up to and including all-side Alysianah will comfortably fit. Okay. Almost at the end. What can you tell us about the Galaxy maneuverability or speed capabilities compared to the Carrack and Constellation? Due to the Galaxy's size, expected to be closer to the Carrack in terms of maneuverability and speed than to the Constellation, so closer to the Carrack. Does the hangar have refuel repair capabilities? The Galaxy has no inbuilt system to refuel or repair, so we rely on players to bring tools and equipment to do so. And the final question. What size ship can we fit in the Galaxy rear hangar? For example, will a missed prospector fit there? Does the rear hangar have a ramp lift for ground vehicles, or can ground vehicles only be used with module lift? The rear hangar is an XSX hangar, and as such, is not capable of fitting a missed prospector. However, the refining module is fully capable with the prospector and cargo mode cargo saddlebag, so they can still offload their materials to be refined. The rear hangar does not have a ramp, as the ramp is at the required angle would extend the ship footprint beyond its designated hangar metric, denying it the use of certain landing pads and facilities. Another lift at the rear would have minimum clearance for loading compared to the central module lift. Therefore, only the central edge is compatible with ground vehicles by design. To try to clear this up for confusion that exists with the hangar sizing, we have XXS, XS, S, M, L, and XL hangar metrics, sometimes referred to as S1 through 6, after the fallback SMO value. A ship must be fit entirely in one of those sizes to spawn. However, we do not have all hangar sizes at our location. For example, the smallest hangar at the space station and landing zone is S, so any SS or XS ship spawned there instead. Landing pads at places like Port Olisar and Planetary Outposts will go down to XXS. Examples of ships that fit in the XXS metric are Anvil Pisces, or the MPV, Miss Raider, or the 85X, and the Origin M50. I need some drink after that. All right, so that's the Q&A. Then, any final thoughts about the last few questions? No?
No, not for me.
So did this Q&A make anyone want to buy a Galaxy?
No.
No. I actually had a question about the hangar sizes. I feel like, is this a big deal? Them giving off the list of like hangar sizes and comparisons?
Not a big deal. It's been there for a while.
Okay. To some people, because some people want to use the hangar to be. It's a prospector. I think is an extra small, or maybe it's even a small, and they're just saying like, no, you can't fit it in there because it's not an extra small. So for some people it is. I mean, to be quite frank, there's nothing in that. When I bought it from the first day when they released it, nothing in there is surprising to me. If a lot of people like to read into stuff and think, what about this and what about that? It's like nothing in there is surprising.
Roundup, thank you for the subscription for 24 months. You've been with us for 2 years, man. 2 years. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I asked whether or not this convinced anyone to buy this set. Did this convince anyone who already have a Galaxy that they should melt it?
Nope.
Did it change your mind?
Nope.
All right.
No, it shouldn't be. And they also have to think about there's going to be more modules coming out in the future that we don't know about at this point. So.
Because Gorman like to say that they have, or the Colossal, one of you like to say that they have like 21 modules for the Endeavor, but most of them are just hidden that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Did it say anywhere in there that the hangar doors go out with the module too?
Oh, they said that that's why they couldn't fit some of the vehicles, because if they allowed the ramp to do it, it would affect the metrics and make the ship longer or bigger.
Okay, because I was just thinking, like, what if there was?
That's why they don't have a ramp.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, what if there was a module that, like, if the modules come with the hangar doors to open and close? What if it came with a
not
bigger
part of a
car?
module? That's what Gomab said.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Gomab.
So that was the OSI Galaxy Q&A. Up next, we had the roadmap. This is I think it's mostly brief. I'll just go over the release view. Notable changes for December 7th, 2022. The following cards have been passed the final review for 318. Therefore, we are changing the status as committed. So they had the Drake Vulture, building, balancing, and implementing the Drake light starboard ship, the Vulture, into the game. A cargo system refactor. This refactor ship cargo systems will allow both found and purchased cargo to be picked up, moved around, and placed in the cargo grid of a ship. Time trial race mission. Time trial race missions are being added throughout the stating system. Players will be able to test their skills versus set time, earning rewards based on performance, and even unlocking more tracks as they progress. Oh, they're doing Need for Speed style, basically. Persistent entity streaming. Implementation of the persistent entity streaming core technology into Star Citizen, making use of services like the entity graph and replication layer. This will allow every dynamic object in the game to fully persist across all servers, irrelevant of whether it's owned or held by a player. Gen 12 Scene Renderer. New rendering architecture to improve performance. These milestone renders every scene object through the new renderer with optimizations and additional features such as Vulcan coming in the future. Check that out in the spectrum. So any thoughts about the anything stood out to anyone? Anyone have a favorite?
Well, I do want to try the indoor racing. Get in there with a bunch of people and act the fool. That I think, to me, what really stands out is the Gen 12 and the cargo refactor. The other ones are just as they're all important, especially the entity streaming. But those two really stand out: Gen 12 and the cargo refactor.
Same. Gen 12 and cargo refactor. Like, I'm excited for the racing and the whole racing community. I just don't have the time myself. Like, my gameplay loops don't involve racing.
I hear you.
Yeah. I'm not a racer, but the little indoor track is the one I want to. That's really what I want to do.
Yeah, I am interested in racing. I don't know if I'll partake in how much I will partake in racing in pre-routine, but we'll see. Because like I said, I don't want to burn myself out before the game actually launches and what have you. So yeah, but I will be Mario Kart. I will be watching other people race. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
So that's where you can get a bunch of drunk people.
Oh my god!
Cut them loose, and it won't be any harm.
Well, in game there will be, yeah.
Well, yeah. Not to your ship, anyway.
So that is the roadmap roundup for December 7th, 2022. Up next we have, Packbot, 318 Packbot, continuing lawlessness. Oh shoot, I sort of asked someone else to read that. Yeah, because someone else get there. It's like, Kuchinagi, you're a narrator.
You want the continuing line on this? Okay, so you want me to read the whole thing or just the quality of life adjustments?
Quality of life adjustment, please.
Okie doke. When at Platinum Bays, players will only see ships they can spawn at the Platinum Bay. No more scrolling and guessing. When reconnecting a comm array, players can now cancel the reconnection if they choose to allow illegal players to retake the location and ensure that lawlessness continues. Change some fundamentals of how spawn closets work. For example, NPCs will no longer be deleted when they stream out and will instead be tied to the streaming manager. This should help fix missing NPCs and missions. Fix an issue with locations sharing names when they should be unique. They had 2 unlawful UFGs called, whatever, which was causing confusion when accepting missions. They fixed an issue where really long crime names would stretch into the date and overlap when using the criminal database. They fixed an issue with a comm array repair mission wouldn't be regenerated due to settings based on that mission record. Fixed an issue where some of the derelict items wouldn't spawn, preventing derelict missions. We have changed them to use new tech as the server was taking some time to send certain events, which made them look like they didn't work. They changed the arrival distance to Security Port Korea when quantum traveling, so you should now arrive closer than before. Fixed up the surface relay mission as there were issues where the terminal wouldn't pop out of the relay. Added voice line packs to security so they would feel more alive. Fixed various issues with Siege of Orson. This included fixing an issue where dialogue would play when players entered a ship being used in an event, and changing the way shipping containers spawn so they are not always at the location. Changed how some of the objectives work in the prisoner transport missions so that they are more structured and make sense. Updated missions to allow non-lethal takedowns to count towards mission progression. This will work for a lot of missions, but not all. In terms of like underground facility or Horizon Island missions, etc. Fixed issues with the oxygen kiosk mission, where it wouldn't pick the correct oxygen kiosk. Made the black spot ignore the comm array overview so players can commit crimes in this zone and get away with it. Added prison-based loot to the AI inhabiting prison caves. Added a Platinum Bay to Barton Flats so players can go there after escaping the prison. Under air traffic control, we've got air traffic control will now clean up debris on a landing pad port when that pad is assigned for use. Some law changes coming into the game. Fixed an issue where criminals can press charges against lawful players who snare them. Fixed an issue where the gunner of a vehicle can give the pilot a crime stat for attacking an AI vehicle. Nedpens won't give crime stats when used on others. Fixed an issue where if a player rams a stationary unmanned ship and is killed, they can press charges against the owner of the empty ship. Fixed an issue where an aggressor can crash into an innocent person's ship and then press charges for vehicle damage. Fixed an issue where players with crimes who have infiltrated the prison can wipe their crimes by getting in the release lift. And a special shout out to Citizen Kate for apparently finding that from CIG. Thanks, Citizen Kate. Modify the call to arms mission to respect crime stats. Changed it so crime stat 1 and 2 won't cause the player to be arrested or denied landing. And that's all for this patch watch. I'm not saying
that. For another one coming soon. Thank you for that, Amakusanagi.
No
any thoughts? Anyone?
There's a couple of them I'm excited about.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Uri.
Unlawful players being able to press charges on lawful players with the QT snaring and stuff. Oh, that's going to cause a lot of confusion because I know a lot of people aren't going to read that at all. And a lot of people could be dabbling into the piracy. They'll be lost. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of funny things in the chat.
Well, you have a problem with that?
Oh no, I'm excited for it.
Oh, good. I was like, people do this, and like big question mark exclamation point over my head. I was like, hell yeah! Like,
I mean,
kick them out of the game.
It's like those Russian dash cams that it happens all the time over there, right? Kusanagi?
Oh my god, I'm like, people are a bunch of jerks, man, doing that to people, like crashing into the ship and then charging them for killing themselves. Give me a break.
Shouldn't have been there. It's all your fault.
That I'm excited for the caves. Like I'm really trying to find a group to go farming for gear with. I'm gonna stock up on guns. Oh man, and man, I really want to go and check out the new caves because no one talks about that. Like ever since that during what was it, ISC or whatever, well we brought up the dude that was working on the caves, and all he said is, "I'm done with the caves." But what do they look like? Well, What?
We'll find out.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, that's the first thing I'm doing then.
Welcome back, Griffin. You have any thoughts about the lawless stuff or the 3-team passport?
No, nothing in particular. I mean, they've been chopping away at the bugs. That's been the cool thing. They've been, really hitting bugs left and right and getting stuff fixed. So that's been stuff that people have been really excited about.
Cool. All right. So up next we have, it's back, everyone. Celebrating Luminalia 2952. What is Luminalia? Luminalia is an annual holiday celebrated by both Banu and humans on December 22nd. It began as a irregular held event, Banu Festival. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Glow Festival, which is marked by lighting of a ceremonial lamp that is remaining lit until the fuel is consumed. While lamps were burning, all Banu, no matter location, were considered one Suli, a group of cohabiting Banu who formed an alliance centered around a specific shared skill set. Today, Banu and humans commemorate Luminalia with gift exchanges, present hunt, glowing lights, food and drink, and gathering family, friends, business associates, and acquaintances. For more information, check out the Galactipedia link. So yeah, it's back. Everyone's looking forward to this year's Luminalia.
As long as we don't get no jetpacks.
Yeah, I'm looking to a better Luminalia.
Well, I continue on in this page. They're giving away, not giving away. You can pick up a discounted starter pack. I think it's a cutter, and well, that's down below. So I'll get to that. They have 12 days of gift. And I want to highlight this part particularly because, it's relevant. So, for the first time, 100% of the gifts are usable in-game. So, don't miss out. Gifts will be available to claim through January 10th. So, I guess that means no more bike handle.
What does that mean?
Remember, the bike handle is usable in-game. It was just a crappy, kind of intro to what was coming out.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that this year. I think
so they could show us. They could show like a seat and be like, "Oh, look at here's your seat you get in the the 2nd of or 20th of December." I don't think they're doing that
this year. It said 100% usable in game.
No, well, are they saying everything is?
For the first time, 100% of the gifts, so you get 12 days of gifts. So yeah. That's what
No. I'm asking: is every gift that they give us is usable? 100% of the gifts are usable to game. Okay, I get it now. Okay, well, that's good news.
That's good news. So no more bike handles and stuff like that. I thought they learned the lesson. Hopefully.
One of the things I always thought was really good about the Luminalia, when games like you play a particular game and they have Easter and whatever else that we celebrate. I'm glad to see that they came up with a in-game lore holiday. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I got to turn down the alert. The sound volume that scared me. Big Black Candy, thank you for the bitch.
Thank you, BBG.
All right. So now up next, but I just want to continue on. The Spirit of Giving, Luminalia gives a different tradition of exchanging gifts. So the presents aren't going to deliver themselves. Next, players invite you to look for hidden gift boxes around every landing zone and in loot containers across Stanton that you can sell at trading kiosks or deliver to folks around the verse. So that was the same thing that happened last year. So let's continue with that. Hauling gifts galore. In the spirit of the season, you can participate in missions to deliver bow or join packages throughout the system for rewards much better than just your name on a nice list. So,
those missions are already in the game, by the way.
Oh, okay. So that's a lot of presents.
Mm-hmm. Are they that big?
The delivery mission boxes are big like that versus the ones you get as the gift ones.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You gotta deliver all of those, or he just collected them?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know. That's your story.
It would be actually it would be awesome if you got to deliver all of those. That would definitely make delivery missions a little bit more worth it.
Yeah,
you know what I
understand that you get better rewards. So yeah.
You know who I think that is? I think that's GoMab.
Kusa Palm, thank you for the bit. Appreciate it. Thank you. They also have contests. Luminalia screenshot contest. As you mail deliver presents throughout the world, we invite you to document your jubilant journey in this year's screenshot contest. Show us how you're celebrating for the chance to win luminous gifts of your own. And I'll look at that in a moment. Greet the season. And with the standard Earthly draw to the end, it's almost time to gather your friends and family to light the ceremonial lamp. Banning humans alike come together for celebrating Luminalia on December 22nd, and we're giving you the way chance to spread some holiday cheer with a special greeting card. So we'll get to that in a moment also. And also, the Luminalia referral bonus. During the holiday season until January 10th, referring a friend to start citizen will earn you both of you the Argo MPV, a much beloved Argo whose can-do attitude embodies the spirit of gift giving in Luminalia. And you got the calendar. I guess they'll fill in as starting December 11th to 22nd. You click back here to daily in-game goodies and prizes. Discounted subscription passes. So these are for a year. Normally, a Centurion pass is $110 for a year, and now it's discounted to $99. And the Imperative pass is normally $220 a year, but now it's discounted to $198 US. Hopefully, you can convert that to your own currency. Or whenever you reload the page, it'll be your own currency. They have holiday packs. Starting with the Aurora and going all the way up to the Nomad, I believe. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. And the Titan Nomad, yep, I was right. So $71, and that's discounted from $95. And the Aurora
it's so weird.
Discounted $5.
And the Aurora and the Pisces are the same price.
And I think they have 2 years of insurance. I'll tell you, 24 months of insurance. Yep, right there. You get merchandise, you get the Pico Plus stuffers, the ugly sweaters, more ugly sweaters and ornaments set, and you get a Stormwall Plus, you get the Infinity pullover, Origin Fleece pullover, sock, stainless steel mug, drinking play mug, same mug, Origin mug. And you know what? I just want to point this out that, the Origin mug is $15.75. The Drake one is $12.75. So you really are paying for the electric tax here.
Yeah, and the drink cup is 12. Okay. All right.
I guess I figured it was like the extra ink on the flares for the Origin logo. Like that's a little bit more.
I think that at this point the Origin logo is just like Beat for Dre. That you're paying for the brand more than the mug. All right, so up next we have the referral bonus. That's what previously said. You get a Argo MPV with a referral. They give you a pack. I'm not going to go over that, but basically, if you refer a friend, you both get a Argo MPV with LTI. I don't know. Unfortunately or fortunate, the LTI Argo MPV that you get will have LTI, but it's non-meltable and non-giftable. So if you upgrade it to a different ship, you can't melt it to get the ship back and whatever. So if you upgrade it, you'll probably be stuck with whatever you upgrade to. So be careful.
Okay.
Luminalia Deck the Hall screenshot contest was previously mentioned. The first place winner get a Reclaimer, second place get a Corsair, and the third place get a Wrath. All of them with LTI. If you have until January 3rd, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time to enter. And so good luck with the screenshot contest. Anyone going to enter the screenshot contest? Well, you have until January 3rd to try, so good luck to you. Finally, with regard to Luminalia, you have the greeting card contest. With this one, you create a greeting card, includes an in-game screenshot and a festive and kind greeting. Yeah, avoid, unkind greeting, because, people may do that. But the CIG builds were based on quality, creativity, and Luminalia lore and rule of hand. The submission period will end on January 3rd, 2023, at 9 p.m. Pacific. And the prizes are a Big Corsair, a Bandit Defender, and a Nomad for first, second, and third, respectively, all with LTI. Who wants to make a green card? No one? Really? No one?
Do that.
Green card?
Yeah, I could probably do that one. Yeah.
Okay, and before we get to ISC, we have Hazy Day. This is a serialized fiction, the in-law piece that was released yesterday. Yep, came out yesterday. And this is quite a long piece. People who I know, I haven't seen Kai in here, but he's enjoyed reading these. But yeah, this is the in-law piece for this week. So check that out if you're interested. All right then. So now we're up to the 10 minutes of ISC. I didn't really call it ISC this time for some reason, but they left the ISC out, but it's ISC. So let's get to it. 10 minutes. We're not going to take a break. We're going to get through the whole thing and then come back.
At CitizenCon 2952, we introduced a new initiative called Journey to 4.0, showcasing stories about development specifically for 4.x branch of release. From new mission types like investigations, to flight experience changes such as the master modes, from life in the verse-altering resource management systems to anything and everything Pyro-related. The Journey to 4.0 is our chance to step outside the traditional weekly update cadence and look farther ahead than usual. And knowing Star Citizen, this journey will probably be one filled with plenty of twists and turns along the way. And the initiative itself will extend beyond this year's CitizenCon to become a semi-regular series of stories and showcases as you're about to see today. Now, most folks are familiar with the process of concept art, that act of creating expression to discover that which you want to add to your project, as well as determining that which you most definitely do not. It's perhaps the most exploratory and experimental part of any development process, and it extends beyond just the visual. Now, today's Journey to 4.0 presentation is from senior sound designer Matt Gabney, a discussion of the process of creating audio concepts for environmental reverb on the distant alien worlds of Pyro.
Hello everyone, my name is Matt Gabney. I'm a senior audio designer at Cloud Imperium Games, and today I'm here to talk about reverberation, ambient sound design, and a few concepts we are experimenting with for Pyro planets. Without extensive soundproofing, most spaces will produce many closely spaced reflections, which reach the listener shortly after the initial dry sound. We hear this series of reflections as a single continuous sound, which we call reverb. Reverb is created when a sound occurs in space with pressurized atmosphere, sending sound waves out in all directions. These waves reflect our surfaces in space, decaying in amplitude until reflections eventually die off. It's my own hypothesis that the experience of sound is about 30% of the human experience and possibly up to 50% of the game experience. Different reverberations give us a rough idea of the space we have around us. During a phone call, for example, where we can't see the other person we're talking to, it's still easy to get a rough idea of the physical space they're in. The reverberation does that. Oh, hi, Mom. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. We're filming. I'm gonna call you back. Thanks. So that's where I put it. Hey, Mom. No, I'm sorry. We're still filming. I can't talk now. I'll call you back, okay? Thank you. Bye. Checkmate. here's one reverb for it, for example, and here's how the other would sound. In video game development or in audio production in general, getting the right feel for space is absolutely crucial for the immersion of the audience. As audio designers, our task is often to recreate an effect that closely matches the visuals. In reality, often the best sound design work is what doesn't get in the way of interpreting the scenario. So our work is unnoticed until there's an issue with what you're hearing. Basically, there's two schools of thought in layman's terms, analog and digital. Either there's a software generating reverb on a signal based on a complex algorithm, or you capture an area that you like the natural reverberation of and use the created impulse response, or IR for short, to generate reverberation through it, which is what we did at the basement of CIG. One big advantage we had with the CIG parking lot is the huge surface area on both levels, with a lot of parallel flat surfaces that can create delays, all kinds of distortions, and it's pretty much one driving element that I wanted to use for Pyro. How cool is that the new building we just moved into could be used this way for the new solar system? Of course, the IR we capture is also digital, which allows us to use them in-game. So, where would it make sense to use IR in-game? My current task as one of the new senior sound designers in the team is to get some concepts together for the new Pyro solar system we showed some videos of during the latest CitizenCon. Based on the art direction I received, Pyro is a hostile environment. Any life developing on those planets is based on very different rules than what we have on Earth, and in Stanton as a consequence. And the basic idea is to make the planet sound otherworldly, unusual, a bit different, but still create something that pleases the ears of the players. It's a fairly contradictory pitch, so if you're me, after receiving such a task, you go home and cry under the shower for a bit. What I came up with is a list of complex systems that will allow us to generate several layers of reverberation that often doesn't exactly belong to the physical space you're in, and has a certain musical tone, plus some other granulated effects to give you sounds that could not possibly come from our solar system, making the familiar sound unfamiliar in subtle ways. This involves a lot of experimentation, so anything I can show you now is purely so we could have a clearer conversation about concepts. It's not confirmed, validated, or even discussed at this stage. I'm just coming up with ideas on my own to have a content and possible systems to talk about later when Pyro audio goes into production. And so why do we use IR instead of algorithmic reverb? The reason is simple. we're generating content on a planetary scale. The basic idea is to come up with a typology of sound parameters that would essentially allow us to procedurally generate audio. But with what we are designing for a system this size, your absolute first priority is optimization, while being able to control and test for all the parameters. So the design has to be clever and the resources are controlled. IR takes substantially less processing power than algorithmic reverb. What I often did for the concepts of pyro is to layer several different sized IRs on top of each other. This gives you an odd feeling about the space around you and allows me to treat the layers differently with a few parameters and a few knobs. So that is a quick look into one aspect of sound design for Star Citizen. I hope you enjoyed.
And we're back.
At CitizenCon 2952, we introduced a new...
There we go. So yeah, that was the ILC for this week. I'm tempted to go to New Soul and get their thoughts first. But anyone have any thought that they want to give?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get everybody else to give theirs first.
Go
Me and my
ahead.
brother, we've talked many times trying to come up with, especially spatial sounds, because you don't. I mean, how do you know what sound on different planets sound like, especially fictional things? Now, I have listened to sounds, emulated sounds from, I think it was Jupiter, which was an emulated sound, and which wouldn't be able to be used because the sound that they demonstrated, it was no direction. And in a game like this, you need directional sound, because if you're walking and someone's coming up behind you, so that wouldn't be to use that wouldn't fit in a game, in my opinion, because you need direction, because the atmosphere messes with the sound. So it's a deep process. Couple other things before I'll let my son speak. It sounded to me like what he was using was not only just reverb, but phase to get his sound from, which is really interesting, because I've often wondered the same thing. But it's good to really see the inside. I was excited to see this whole thing. Yeah.
Cool.
So, I'll jump in. So to piggyback off of what Pops just talked about, when you talk about directional sound, obviously, it's math involved, and it's a lot of things that when you talk about sound in game versus sound in film, it's different. They have you sound in game is a lot harder, or put it this way, it's a lot more work involved in it, because you have a player that's immersed in an environment, like my pops has said about directional. You have to account for, well, how are they going to put this into at that gun sound when it's in atmosphere, on an atmospheric planet. How is this going to sound like to a player that is 20 kilometers away? And all of these things, take effect into account, where they have to. I know they talked about Claudius. Is that correctly the right?
Yes, Claudius.
Claudius, and they talked about Claudius being optimized for their audio engine sort of way that you can, hear sound from a position where it's not loading in all of these different sounds into your RAM and then calling on it when it needs to, you know what I mean? Because if I'm understanding how the way that it's designed from watching that video, and it's very cool to see. Um, if anybody got questions, but that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, my reason for mentioning direction. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Pops. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying my reason for mentioning directional when this is what stood out to me, because Griff, you always quote this from CIG. It has to be fun, and to have a atmosphere that wouldn't give you direction, it wouldn't be fun. So he has to come up with something, creating something that would be fun, but a lot with different, being different.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I appreciate the fact that what we're seeing here is what in general is called Foley work, right? This isn't about music or anything like that, but he's dealing with Foley, and he talks about the difference between going analog and digital. He's doing some old school stuff here. Those beating of the boxes, the clapping, that's all non-electronic. It's all natural. And any of you guys who've watched like the making of Star Wars and things like that, you've seen Ben Burt and a lot of other people. They used to tap on cables for, electric towers, all types of stuff to create these sounds, then bring them into the studio and do their modifications, combining, stacking. Sometimes it would be the sound of an elephant on top of a walrus, on top of a bear, and to Pop's point, being able to create sounds for spaces that we don't know what would be there. There's the real side of it, which says that there's no atmosphere, you ain't gonna hear squat, right? And then there's if there's a certain amount of atmosphere, how much sound do you hear? But there's also the fantasy side of it too. Some of you remember in the old Star Trek series, they landed on this one planet where these plants, when the wind blew on them, they did this whining, whistling sound. And it was this constant hum that went over. But if you held the plant leaf, you'd hear the sound stop. They could come up with like these crystals you're seeing, if there's some type of atmosphere that's blowing through them that creates certain sounds. So they have liberty to step outside of what's real, to create an atmospheric feel for us when we go somewhere, so that when we like last night, Pops, you, Fist, and I were someplace. It was nighttime. We were at the derelict. Those sounds and things that we hear, even with not being able to see, can let us know where we are or what's around us. So the sound, he talks about the importance of it, whether it's 25% or 50% of how it impacts the way the player is going to hear and play the game. I just love the fact that he's doing old school stuff with microphones and using natural reverb. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be plenty of times where they're going to sweeten it and test it out with boards and circuits and everything else. But he's showing you how even today, with all the technology, they still use these natural elements and natural sounds to be able to later on create the engine roars, the door slamming, all that stuff that happens in the game, which I think is pretty cool.
Now jump in. What you saw there was him capturing an IR. From what I saw, him tapping on the boxes was for him to capture an impulse response of that garage. So then he can then take that impulse response, load it back into, because in Reverb you have an IR reverb where you take it to basically a file that you capture, and then now you load that into to that reverb, and then now you can send sound through that reverb, basically as if I'm sending sound through that garage. That makes sense, everybody?
Yeah,
we get it.
Oh, okay. So basically that's what I'm seeing that he was doing there at that point, which is really cool because I've seen it done so many times throughout. They use a lot of this in orchestral music. They'll use IR responses in there, in reverbs, like from cathedrals. Like if you want a specific type of cathedral or hall, let's say Vienna Symphonic Hall, you would capture that hall, and then you can run your sound through that hall, and basically you're getting a symphony through that hall.
You get the reverb of that symphony through whatever other thing you want to do. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that at the beginning of this ISC. I wish I had, but you should have listened to this ISC with headphones because it makes a difference rather than speakers. This was an ISC to listen to with your headphones. Go ahead, Chris and I.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit. I'm on both sides of the fence here with this. After watching that Hammerhead thing with the more realistic space sound. I kind of want to not hear ships flying around me. I kind of want to hear the metal creaking from inside the ship. There was a point with him walking on the ground. You could hear it almost felt like the sound was coming from inside the suit when he was like walking on the ground, and then he was like shooting the rifle, which is of course using a powder burn, I imagine, to let off a bullet. So, and it just sounded more natural that way. So I was a little confused with he had like both, it just seemed like you could hear the gun going off, which sounded more normal, and then like it sounded like originally the sound was coming through his suit to hear his feet flop on the ground. And then, but there's also issues where areas where you see like the crystallized location, which has got all these ambient sounds, which are like, wow, this is really different, and they're trying to make it seem like really something else. And then that when they're coming into the atmosphere, it almost had like a sense of like, a movie, a cinematic event where you're coming in with like music, like say Blade Runner, 2049 or whatever the hell it is, 2149. And so I love that idea. I wonder if they're gonna do maybe have the sound different when you're in first person or third person. So you could have this first person experience of what it would be like, with limited sound, or be able to walk around and hear all this ambient noise.
Believe it or not, it's like that now, Admiral. Like when you're in your ship, for example, when you're piloting your ship, when you go to external view, you get entirely different sound. And like you said, like the creaking and things like that when you're inside, they do happen. Even in a flight suit. I mean, technically, if you're going to hear any sound, it's going to be because of atmosphere in your suit. And maybe you are going to hear your suit rubbing and things of that nature. But again, if you're on a moon or planet that has no atmosphere, the reality is, someone here in chat even said they just turn their sound completely off when they're out there because they want the realism. You remember 2001? It was disturbing for some people to listen to 2001 because all you could hear was the breathing in the helmet, and there was activity happening outside, like, when the bolts blew in the door, and our brains tell us we should hear an explosion. But the reality is you're not going to hear that explosion. And so, as you know, Chris is really big about cinematography and movies and stuff. So you're right. They're going to have to find that balance between, like when you fly into a city right now, when I fly into Chicago, they don't start playing, Sweet Home Chicago on the airplane. You know what I mean? When we fly into New Babbage, they start playing the New Babbage theme. That's a trigger to let you know where you are. You know what I mean?
Sound cues.
And so, so there'll be some cues, like they said, those little things that let us know, like when I was talking about us being at the derelict last night, certain sounds can be used to subconsciously let you know what's going on, where you are. If the beat of the music changes, that means you're being attacked. If it's softer music, that means that nothing's going on. But again, balancing reality and fun is going to be, that's their job. You know
what I would say though, Griff, though, like when we talked about it, about most players turn their music off when they play the game, right? So, but you keep the ambient sound. Now, I was asked though, for everybody, what's the one thing that people do that you would do, whenever your sound goes out in the game? Like if you had a bug or something.
I check my speakers or my headset, my headphones.
Check your speakers, you check all of that stuff, and then once you realize that that's not the problem, what do you do?
I restart the game.
There you go. Why do you restart the game?
Because I want the sound.
Exactly. Because sound is so important. It really it's like whenever I think about sound is really the part that immerses you. You can have all mechanics, you can have all of those things in the game. And I'm not saying that those things aren't important, but when you don't have sound, it's such an integral part of our day-to-day, that it's just so important that whenever it goes out and something's wrong,
it messes
automatically
up.
Exactly.
Even when we know that scientifically or reality wise there wouldn't be sound, it does mess with us because we're not used to being in a space where there's a complete vacuum and there's no sound. Right.
You're right.
Now, the one
it's
thing
amazing sound. I mean, it's a really interesting, the crystal locations and all that stuff is just really, really cool. So I'm looking forward to see what they come up with. But yeah, it's like that both sides like pulling you from one way to the other. You're in space, you don't want to hear anything. Again, I'm pulled back to that hammerhead thing. It was just like, oh my god, I want that in a battle. And at the same time. And at the same time, you want that experience, that you want that, when he was coming into the atmosphere, you want that music, you want that kind of like you're coming into a really cool environment, and this is different than any place you've been yet, and I think that's really cool. Sorry, Pops, go ahead.
You got the final word, Pops. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, it's a very difficult place to create. I mean, you think of an artist that has painting. I mean, and he's going to have his reds and blues and variations of these and that, but to create a sound you have no clue from at all, it's a daunting task. And the only other, the last thing I want to say is I will be very, very happy when we get to see since we're talking about sound, the languages, the Banu languages, how they sound, because I have thought about that for so long. Because of how their vocals will sound to us.
We kind of know what the Vandu sound, right? Because we've seen that.
Yeah, you've seen that on the 2016 with the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that was this week's ISC, Reverberations and Application Journey to 4.0. Up next, we have MACHINIMA. And this is from EE Studios. We're gonna do it's in 3 parts, but they're all together, and they're less than 10 minutes for we're doing back to back. I made a playlist, and we're just gonna go through them. Griffin, you want to say anything about this?
No, these are just the guys from EE Studios. We've seen plenty of their videos before, and they've just put out a new series. These little small mini series, and we're taking the first 3 episodes in tonight.
All right. Yep. This is called Ava IRL. And before that, Choops, thank you for the 500 bits. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chooch. Appreciate that.
All right, so this is the MACHINIMA.
Good evening and good afternoon, Loureville. This is Channel 7 News. I'm John Badalama. Let's get to work. The Hurston Dynamic Corporation has begun a brand new employment initiative called New Blood. Starting this next cycle, the new referral program will be put in place to reward our workers with a 2% weekly ration pay bonus for every new hire that they refer to the company who also vote centralist. This comes as a combative measure against accidental workplace deaths. They've only slightly been on the rise since the new overtime management policy that was put into effect this last quarter. I'm John Badalama, Channel 7 News. Get back to work.
Dude, what did I tell you about calling me before noon?
Sorry. I thought you meant noon Zulu time.
Don't be a jackass.
Oh, come on. That was funny.
Are you calling me from the shitter again?
No.
I'm hanging up.
Ava, hold up. Listen, I got a really great deal on a ship. We're gonna add to the Red Line fleet.
We don't need another ship.
We need something more long range. The cutting no matter great for in-system stuff, but I want to make sure we're covered for anything a little more austere.
Dude.
Guy named Bingo's got it ready to go at Reclamation and Disposal in Hurston. I just need someone to ferry it back to the office at Hurl 5.
My mate goes in the shop, remember?
You're in Lorville, right?
Maybe.
It was happy hour last night, of course you are. Look, good for you, because there's an Ursa rover with your name on it in the garage.
Hold up.
You want me to drive there?
I'll let you keep the rover.
Are you serious?
Ava, please, I need this. I need you. Please.
Ugh.
Good evening and good afternoon, Loreville. This is Channel 7 News, your regulated 24-hour media news outlet source for the Hurston system. I'm John Badalama. Let's get to work. Failure to maintain company equipment will result in being penalized 10% of your next weekly ration pay card. Speaking of pay, the Hurston Dynamic...
Ugh, enough of that garbage. Please be friendly.
Attention. You are being pirated.
Fuck!
You have 3 seconds to transfer all your credits, or you will be destroyed. Easy money. I'm not fucking around. 15 seconds. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
One fart and I'm gone.
Don't worry, I shat myself dry.
TMI.
So how's the drive?
Had to break in the new railgun. Pirate helped me out.
No way.
Wait, so tell me more about this bingo dude. You gonna give me a hard time picking up the ship?
Yeah, about bingo.
Oh boy, here we go.
I was hungry. They never let me go.
Now they're gone and it's my fault.
Nonsense. What happened to them? You had no control.
I am fucking sick and tired of not having control.
Doesn't kill us, makes us stronger. It takes a special
I am sick and tired of that word too.
Not special, I'm fucking... You bingo?
Who are you?
Ava. Nate sent me to pick up the new ship.
Yes, I know.
So, we gonna...
You're in the overclocked production, yes, wunderbar. I understand you are the high-functioning alcoholic. I have a bottle of Merlot in my room for us to share. We will drink and make merry, and I shall impress you with the feats of strength and stamina. Does this not intrigue you?
No.
Yes, I know.
Let's take a look at the ship. Sound like a plan?
Well, here it is. Completely refurbished since the accident.
A Corsair. Nice. I've always wanted one of these.
Oh, is that so?
It's a mobile home with wings, and with enough firepower to stay out of trouble.
So, the overclock show is true. You really are a naughty girl.
I know how to survive. Let's just put it that way.
I am trained in the mouth-to-mouth resuscitation myself. Shall I demonstrate?
No.
Yes, I know.
Gotta admit, it's always been a fantasy of mine to be inside one of these.
It has always been a fantasy of mine to be inside of you.
Excuse me?
Why? Did you burp?
Bingo? Don't ever talk to me like that again. Got it?
Yes, I know.
I don't think you do.
Look, there's even enough room to get undressed.
Bingo.
Ava, you will need a crew. I will be your first mate.
Last chance, Bingo.
Prepare to receive my greatest gift.
Fucking weirdo.
Yo,
So how'd it go?
Bingo tried to shoot his shot, so I shot him.
Ava.
Don't Ava me. You knew dude was a creep.
You got the ship at least?
On my way to her L5 right now.
Save the fuel. She's yours.
Say what?
Done a lot for me, Ava. Consider it good karma. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You okay?
It's nice to know someone gives a shit about me. Thanks, dude.
Just go easy on the trigger, okay?
Can't make any promises.
And we're back. So that was it for AVIL. I think we're going to go free fall here. So what do people think? Anyone going to take a shot?
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot here. So speaking of sound design, yeah.
Oh no.
I got a thing here for ISC now, being that because we know toilet gameplay is coming up. I want to see them as to where they get their Foley sounds for the bathroom.
Buster the Destroyer, thank you for the raid. How's everybody doing? Thank you for the raid. Welcome to everyone to the channel. Currently we're going over the new, well, I don't want to say new, but one of the latest MACHINIMA from EE Studios. This is called AVIL. Sorry, go ahead again, Christopher.
I was just saying, I want to see CIG do their Foley on the bathroom sound.
Are you volunteering? Are you volunteering?
Oh, I hope not. I hope not.
It's hilarious. Listen, I get it. I have a sound library already that's full of all that stuff. I'm just curious to see if they're gonna do it. That's all.
I'm sure they'll find something pre-recorded.
Well, if that.
Well, sound design was actually
it was
cool.
definitely on point. Definitely, I have to.
It is really well done.
The fan, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of what they do. Yeah.
I just want to say, never call someone from the bathroom. That's just poor taste. Don't do that. Don't be that person. And Bingo, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I thought it was cool that they brought Eva back too from their other series and used her for this, which was kind of cool. Give us a little bit more about her personality and who she is.
And I like how Bingo or Dingo, is Bingo or Dingo? Bingo. I like how he referenced her from Overclock. So that was interesting. That was
Do you guys think?
callback.
Do you guys think that like fastcart could play that Dingo character pretty almost like a natural like it came out naturally? If that was if he had like a German accent, that would be
I am not taking off my clothes in front of anybody. Okay. I have more sense than that. Put it that way.
Yeah. Also, their studio's getting better. I remember when we watched their very first videos, which were good, but you could see they're refining it much better. It's getting much better. And the short form worked in this particular way. They've partnered with HubNet too, which is also another thing that's been pretty cool. I know Jade had mentioned that before, so they're coming right along.
I thought it was pretty interesting the way it opened with her laying on the floor. Because I was like, first I was like, what's going on? And then they brought it in, and she's got a drinking issue, and why she started out on the floor, and yeah, they developed that in pretty good.
And I mean, I know better, but I would have almost sworn that they almost performance captured the characters, because they got the characters seemed to do whatever they wanted to do for the scene. So that I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
like timing your words to the emotes is very complicated.
And I like the way she handled the sexual harassment. Yeah.
Yeah. She shot the dude, basically.
Hey, listen, I'll be honest. I actually want to see Bingo in game.
There are plenty of bingos running around in that game. Trust me already.
Unfortunately, yes, they are.
I do love the character like this Ava. Like I like the voice actress, like the way she handles herself. Again, in the other videos that we're seeing, she's like a machine now or whatever. So, but this is kind of nice to kind of get in that different. Do you think this is like a pre thing, or do you think this is like in the past for her character, or do you think this is just a brand new like different universe type of thing?
Well, they said Overclock had aired, so
yeah, it's a TV show in here.
Either way, it's I like both of them, both of these series, so it's good stuff.
All right, so that was Overclock. I'm sorry, that was Ava IRL from EE Studio. Check that out. I put the link in chat again so people can check that out. All right, so up next, I want to go back to what we started with in the beginning of the show. We're doing a fundraiser for Alysianah Noire. So let me just go ahead and read it, because we had new people here who weren't here when we started. During the month of December, we would like to once again raise money and awareness for the daughter of Star Citizen backer Alysianah Noire, who has suffered with a rare illness over the past year. We introduced new coffee mugs in the Streamlight store to help with the fundraising effort. All donations brought in from the sale will go toward her GoFundMe. And you can go to the link down below to purchase merchandise. We've selected quotes and phrases from selecting each for the Soul Citizen members, which we hope you'll enjoy and support. Of course, if you like one, buy one or two. And there's the image on the screen. So yeah, if you want to support Alysianah Noire, her daughter, go ahead and purchase some merch, or you can go directly to the GoFundMe page. Up next, after that, we have. Oh yeah.
Oh, did you tell folks how much money was raised so far on the GoFundMe?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll reload it. We were at 43. Oh, they were at 4302.
Yeah, but we were at 38 when we started Sunday. So we've gotten even more over the last few days. So it's growing.
Cool.
Thank you guys.
I want to just throw this out there. So, this is last year's donation request, guys. So don't think we raised like $4,000 just this one time. This is $5,000 that she asked for last year. So I mean, I spent $50 last year. I put down another $50 this year because you know what? I bought a $550 spaceship, and I think this woman, her family needs a little extra money for the holidays, and because really, we're trying to get over the $5,000 because this is what she needed a year ago. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So if you can either help her out or share into your Discord communities to kind of get the word out, that would be fantastic. And I'm sure her family and the community at large would greatly appreciate it. And really, it's the Christmas season or Luminalia. So I think one of my favorite movies in the holidays is A Christmas Carol with Scrooge. And I think this is just one of those moments that you have to really, dig deep in your heart a little bit and think if you get like an extra $5 someplace. I'm not saying you have to, just like you could share it to your communities, but I just think this person needs a little help.
Thank you.
Well said, Admiral. Well said.
Well said, Admiral.
All right, so up next we have Podsat Saturday, or Podcast Saturday. Podsat is what we call it. So every Saturday, we have the show versions at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UTC. That's the show. Well, you want something, Griffin?
Well, about voices?
Yeah.
Oh, Yeah, well, Voices is our one-on-one show. This Soul Talk is our round table where you all can come in and hang out and talk with us. And our Saturday show is our one-on-one where you get to come in and talk with me and whoever else my co-host is. Sometimes it's fastcart. Figures the phone would ring, right? So anyway, that's 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep, and cover topics from Reddit, Spectrum, and something from the industry in general. And follow, and it's part of Podsat. So following that, it's after probably 6 p.m. Eastern, it's 11 p.m. UTC, and they're followed by a relay at 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UTC. So the whole day of podcast. And our next show. We have Stop the Steal. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UTC. Are you on the phone, Griffin?
No, I'm here.
Okay, do you want to tell people about this show?
Oh, yeah. The show is basically going to be about a lot about drop ships and what it comes to delivering personnel and equipment and stuff like that in the game. So for those of you who are into the whole support thing, maybe bringing in your M2 and dropping off tanks, or whether you want to fly your Valkyrie and drop off personnel, or you're driving a Spartan and you got a team in there. That's what this is going to be about. What it takes to make these type of things happen. Really a lot of multiplayer related stuff. So that's going to be this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
And Unique is going to be supposed to be on for that, so that should be interesting. He always has some funny to say. Also, we have reaction and reviews. We haven't had a more recent episode. Our latest episode with She-Hulk, but hopefully we'll get more up soon. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I'm Aaron Krishnagi, Face to Face, Cotton Face, Rad Smoke, and GriffinGamingRPG for co-hosting with me. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on, everywhere. Soul Citizens with an S on the end, everywhere on social media. Don't forget to buy our merch. And like I said, everything you buy this month for the month of December will go towards Alysianah and Noire's GoFundMe. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform. And, we don't have anyone we can raid, do we?
I can find somebody. I can find somebody. Did Admiral put I didn't look. I'm sorry. I was busy here.
No problem. I do want to say, back to the ISC, I wonder when we're going to get Helmet from Beat by Dre.
Astro's up, I think.
He is? Okay, yeah, he's up. We'll go that way.
All right, Niles Button just said Elden Ring just won Game of the Year, so congrats to Elden Ring. All right, so make sure you send Astro our love. And with that, I want to say, get the race started before I go there. There we go. All right. So with that, I want to say peace, love, and soul. Take care, everybody.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.